Alright, today we're doing a video on HIGHFLEET. Now this is going to be part walkthrough and part playthrough. The reason I say part walkthrough is because I'm not going to break down every single mechanic. I'm not going to read the manual to you. But I will play the game on hard difficulty and give some basic tips and tricks, as well as explain why I'm making certain strategic choices. So this is a video for people who might like the look of the combat or the art style, but get confused when you look at the campaign map or you get overwhelmed by the UI. Okay, let's go ahead and start our campaign. So the first thing we have to do is choose the ships that we're going to use for our fleet. And the advice here about taking the red ones and maybe one or two tankers, it's a little misleading. So we actually have different types of red ships. If we open up the ship roles here, you see we have air superiority, strike ship, interceptor, AA defense, tanker, early warning, aircraft carrier, missile carrier, and nuclear missile carrier. So he says take the red ships, but there's a whole bunch of different ones, and some are definitely better than others. So here is what my selection looks like. And now keep in mind here, I'm going to have more ships than you do because I have more cash available. The more you play the game, you're sort of given more cash whenever you decide to restart, or as like a new game plus, you get more money to work with. So I'm playing on hard. I've played the game a few times, so I'm going to have more ships, but the core doctrine here is going to be the same. So I have 3 red ships, these 3 lightnings that are going to be, my workhorse fighting everyday ships. Each one of those is going to be paired up with a Skylark, which is going to help give them eyes and ears as to where enemies are and where convoys are. I have 2 missile carriers, the Yars Mark IIs, and these are going to be my answer to the strike groups. So I'm trying to get rid of the strike groups, but I don't want to fight them head to head. I want to find out where they are, and I want to blow them up from very far away, and I'm going to use these missile carriers to do that. And I also have a Wasp. And the Wasp is there because as an aircraft carrier, the jets and the fighter bombers are indispensable tools. They're great at scouting. They're great at doing kind of like lightning strikes on the different task groups, as well as intercepting enemy cruise missiles. So I definitely think you should incorporate some type of aircraft carrier. Okay, and now I think we can start the campaign. So we're going to skip through the story, and we're going to be presented with our task. So as you can see there, Kiva is where all the new ports are made, and we're basically trying to capture Kiva in order to get a hold of the new port factory. So we get some good information there. We've got 5 roaming strike groups that we want to try to either take out or avoid. We don't want to be spotted, or we'll get missiles shot at us. So on top of the strike groups, there's also these tactical groups, missile carriers and aircraft carriers. Now they don't move on the map, but there's still something that we want to watch out for. And then there's those transports. Now the transports we can use for money. So we can capture those, and they'll give us a pretty sizable chunk of money. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get some supplies. Airburst is a must. That's gonna be our anti-air. It's gonna make fights easier. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna get some fuel. And then we're going to get our lightning and our skylark task groups, and we're just going to send them out.
Roger that. Godspeed.
So we're just going to start throwing them out there to the first sort of closest locations. We also want to explore to the northwest, because that's where we're going to meet our first ally. So we'll send them out. Oh, and excellent. First battle, we're facing 6 guys. And I'll quiet down and let the battle go. Okay, so first battle, victory, and you know, they're just saying that you can make some money by salvaging. Obviously, you want to be careful about the explosive ones because they'll get rid of, you know, some of your money makers, and you gotta watch out for the toxic or the unsafe events. So we're just gonna try to salvage as many money makers, and we'll jump into another battle.
I hate you, I hope you're choking, you're sleeping on a put drain cleaning your coffee tomorrow.
Okay, so we're done with those battles. We're gonna start selling our loot for some much needed money for fuel and supplies, and we're also going to meet our first ally here. So we're gonna get some more airburst because airburst is always good, and we're going to talk to the first Tarkan.
It is so.
Now, most of these guys you can look up guides for,
Peace be upon you.
like what they're afraid of, what they like, what they dislike. The first guy's pretty easy. Obviously, he looks like he's a true believer, and then you hand him the pot, and he joins you. And then he also tells you where another potential ally might be. But for us. His ship isn't really usable. I don't like the Jetbird, so I'm just going to sell it, make a whole bunch of money. And that's more money for, more missiles, other ships, just any sort of supplies we need. Now we've got a good set of money. And this is also our information center. So I like to get the tactical groups. The strike groups are constantly moving. Same with the trade groups. It's nice to kind of use that like one extra point to find the convoys. Just in case they're close by, you can intercept them for money. But the tactical groups don't move, so that information is always good. Once you know where the tactical group is on the map, it's not moving. It's always going to be there. Okay, so we're gonna get some fuel for our main sort of group. Now, it's very expensive to move our main group, so we're just gonna try to get enough fuel to get to that fuel depot that we've already cleared out. Got some repairs we're waiting on. You can also see morale. We want that to ideally always be 10. We want our people nice and rested. It's a factor of how many times you can attempt an attack, and then there's also some certain story events that'll impact your morale. So you want to keep your morale as high as possible. I'm just going to try to see if there's another convoy close by. No convoys, and we're going to start moving our main group close to the fuel depot. Now that we're back and nice and rested, we're just going to send our groups out again.
Афганистан, кружит черный тюльпан над берегом реки.
Are you fucked?
Афган, Афганистан, кружит черный тюльпан над берегом реки.
Okay, so after some more battles, we are now at a merchant city, and we are going to be trying to hit every one of these possible. These are where we're going to have our cruise missiles for taking out the strike groups, spare planes, just regular missiles for our lightnings. We definitely want to explore all of these. Now, this is where the pencil is one of the best tools. Write down your information for yourself. Okay, we know that there are KH-15 cruise missiles there, so we're going to mark that on the map for ourselves. So once we do have the money to buy some, we can always come back and pick them back up again.
We're present for minute. Roger that.
And here's just another example of what I mean about how the Skylark can be a useful like grocery shopping ship. You send it out to where we know those KH-15s were. We're going to buy as many of those as we can, and then we will eventually send it back to our main group. And again, moving our main sort of group, it's very expensive, so we're just going to try to either move it towards fuel depots or save points where it can help support the other groups.
Attention, visual contact.
Alright, so one of our groups has made visual contact, and since there's no warnings going off, it's definitely a little convoy prize ship, so we're unescorted. We're going to capture that. And we'll bring that back to the fuel depot. So I was going to attack here, but then I realized that the alarm is still raised. And if we attack while the alarm is raised, there's a chance that we can get flagged, which will send the strike groups after us. We don't want that, so we're just going to wait till the alarm is no longer raised, and then we will attack again. We're going to land, sell some of our loot, and we're also going to meet another Tarkan. We're going to get her to join our team. She's going to give us some more information about where other Tarkans are, and we're going to get her ship. Now, I don't like the Intrepid, but it does have some missiles, so we're going to strip it for some parts, and then sell it for more gas money, ammunition money. We're going to continue with our plan here. We're just going to keep sending our strike groups forward, and we're going to keep advancing.
Это главное, похоже на тебя. В долгом пути я заплету волосы лентой и не способный на покой я знак подам тебе рукой, прощаясь как будто с легендой. Прольются все слова как дождь, и там, где ты меня не ждешь, ночные ветры принесут тебе прохладу. На наши лица без ответа лишь только отблески рассвета того. Ты меня не ждешь.
Okay, we get a thermal signature.
Visual contact.
So that's without an ELIN signature, that's usually a trade group. So we're just going to capture that. We're going to take that to Shivad and not Imgur. Now we got flagged at Imgur from that little trade ship. And in case there's any tactical groups in the area, we don't want them sending any airstrikes or missile strikes at us. Okay.
Radar emission detected.
We now have our first ELINT signature. And this is where the game kind of really starts, because now we're encountering our first strike group.
Warning, radar emission detected.
Дорога мой дом, и для любви это не место. Дорога мой дом, и для
So we can see that it's at a bearing of 0. So we're just going to look at the closest town to that bearing. We're going to mark a approximate strike group location with an S. We're going to park this little group here just to kind of monitor where that strike group is going, and that's going to be the intel coming from our Skylark. So now we can see that we've got ELINT danger and a bearing of about 60. So we're going to use our ruler tool, and we're going to put a bearing of approximately 60 degrees. Now how these work is it's cones. So if something's flashing 60, it means it's anywhere from 45 to 75 degrees. It's in that cone. So that strike group is probably making its way to Taffet to try to get to that Imgur flag sighting of our fleets. So something cool happens here. If you look at our ELINT, you can actually see the moment that the strike group crosses that sort of 60-degree cone to the 90-degree cone. So it's actually crossing over that 75-degree mark. We're going to intercept this radio signal, and it's going to tell us that the strike group is going to be landing at Taffet in less than an hour. And we're just going to skip ahead here as I wait for my fleet morale to increase a bit. Here I'm going to try to capture Ooze, the first save point, but These are usually a little bit more well defended than just your regular cities. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a bombing run with some fighters to try to soften it up first.
Target sighted and locked, starting the attack run. Walk out.
Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
The bomb was deployed at the coordinates. Walk out.
Warning, radar emission detected.
So right now we're getting another Elin signature. So once again, that Skylark is picking up a strike group nearby. And because it's at a bearing of 300, it's looking like there's something at Imgur. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get one of my jets and I'm going to use it as a scout to try to visually confirm the strike group's position.
Acknowledged. Aerial recon mission confirmed. Enemy spotted.
And there we go. There's a strike group right there. You can see in the bottom that we've picked up a radio signal. Now this is actually because I left my radar on my big fleet. So we're going to turn that off because that's actually giving the enemy an Elin signature. So now we're just going to use our missiles to strike the strike group. We'll get back after.
Уходим, прощайте горы вам видней. Кем были мы в краю далеком, пускай не судит одна Бога нас кабинетный грамотей. До свидания, Афган. Не пристало добром поминать тебя вроде, но о чем-то грустит боевой командир. Мы уходим, прощайте горы вам видней. В чем наша боль и наша слава, чем ты, земля Афганистана, искупи слезы матерей. Нам вернуться сюда больше не суждено. Сколько нас полегло в этом долгом походе, и дела недоделаны полностью. Мы уходим, прощайте горы вам видней. Какую цену здесь платили, врага какого не добили, каких оставили людей. Вдруг спиртовую дозу дели на троих, столько нас уцелело в лихом разведвзводе. Третий тост, даже ветер на склонах затих. Мы уходим, прощайте горы вам видней. Что мы имели, что отдали, надежды наши и печали, как уживутся средь людей. Биографии наши полдюжины строк социологи втиснут. Сейчас они в моде, только разве подвластен науке Восток? Мы уходим с востока, уходим, прощайте горы вам видней. Кем были мы в краю далеком, пускай не судит одна Бога нас кабинетный грамотей. Прощайте горы вам видней. Какую цену здесь платить? Врага какого не добили, каких оставили людей. Мы уходим с востока.
Okay, first strike group is down. There's only 4 left to go at this point, so we're making good progress.
Thermal signature detected.
Oh shit!
Attention. Visual contact.
Shit.
Thermal signature detected. Attention.
Shit, 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 shit. Whew. We are getting out of there. Another reason to keep these Skylarks on hand. You can see I don't have enough fuel to properly escape.
Come back in one
So we're going to
piece.
send this Skylark to meet up. And we'll use that to give us more fuel to escape to Ooze. So I made a grave mistake. I saw the one Elin signature at Imgur and assumed that there was only one strike group. There's actually 2 strike groups here. The one we just took out at Imgur and a second one at Taffet. Or it was at Taffet and it's on its way to Imgur. This is also a good time to go over the infrared search feature. Most commonly you'll hear this warning
Thermal signature detected.
when this system detects something. So you'll see it's this kind of circle, staticky looking circle. And what this will do is it'll pick up the passive heat from planes, missiles, or enemy fleets. And you'll see a spike growing in intensity with the direction that one of these heat signatures is coming from. And you can move this cone to display a bearing on the top little screen.
Roger that. Godspeed.
And what we're going to do here is we're going to send our fighter jets out again just to do some scouting. We're going to, again, beef it up just so that way if the enemy has planes, we're not caught off guard. We can kind of handle ourselves in the air.
Acknowledged. Aerial recon mission confirmed.
Welcome back.
Enemy spotted. Tracking hostile flyers. Sokol is heading back. Over.
So here we can see that the enemy is actually, they do have planes. I don't want an air engagement just because I don't want to risk any of my planes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to retreat back to the carrier fleet and try to get those ships to deal with the planes instead. So here we took Taffet, but you can see based off the inlet that that strike group that was at Imgur is now heading to this new sighting flag. It's actually coming back towards Taffet now. So we're going to go over to Samra to try to escape this group. We're also going to land our main group here at Uz. That way we can refuel as well as rearm our missile carriers. So we're ready for another engagement with the strike groups. And once again, we're just going to keep progressing, trying to advance forward.
Have they lost their minds? Do they even realize who's standing before them?
We never expected to be graced by your presence, Grand Duke. I must apologize. My name is Yitzhakra. You have my full attention. A truly priceless gift. I will gladly join you, Grand Duke.
Alright, so after that little heated engagement, we're not going to sell this ship. The Archangel, it's a nice kind of medium, heavy hitting ship. Pretty hard to take down too, so we're going to definitely add this to our arsenal. We are going to sell some nukes here to get some more gas money though. So we're going to keep advancing, and we're going to try to position ourselves to take that next save point.
Вот ты видишь наши картины до сих пор здесь висят на стене. Конечно, нас запомнят навсегда. И
So here we come across our first tactical group that we have to deal with. It's a missile carrier. And I find that the best way to deal with missile carriers is to airstrike them. This is because you can't charge them with your regular lightnings. They'll spot you on their radar and they'll launch their missiles at you. So much easier to send our planes in because they can't missile those, and the aircraft will actually target the highest priority ship in the garrison.
Affirmative. Heading for the strike zone. Are you allowed?
So in this case, we're going to bomb the missile carrier, and that's all we really need to do. Then we can retreat after that.
The enemy has been destroyed. Target destroyed.
This is Ariel. Bombing run completed. Over.
The rest of the garrison can be dealt with our lightnings as normal.
Я не могу сбежать от нас. Что ты думаешь, это легче быть один, чем все время врать? Те же глаза, я хочу убежать. Серое небо, я падаю без конца. Серое небо, я падаю без конца. Я вышел из дома, я устал, ни одно лицо не узнал. Все с самого начала я понял. Я боюсь. Серое небо. Я падаю.
So here you can see that it looks like, based off our ELINT, that we're picking up another strike group marked with the S. But then we get some data and we find a trade group that is in the same bearing as that ELINT signature. So this could be one of two things. One, there is a strike group somewhere behind the trade group far away, but the more likely possibility here is that this is a guarded trade group. So it's a trade group that doesn't have the usual sort of like small escort ships. It's actually got one or two medium heavier cruisers that are equipped with their own radar.
Без конца. Серое небо, я падаю без конца.
Come back in one piece. Roger that. Good luck.
So here's another example of how the infrared search works, and I'm going to overlay it on top of the group so it makes a bit more sense.
Attention. Radar emission detected.
So here we have an aircraft tactical group at Masada, and unlike the missile carrier tactical groups, we can just charge with our landings. We don't want to send a jet strike, like an aircraft strike, because they will counter with their own aircraft, and we don't want to risk our planes, so we can just send in the lightning and get it to mop up the entire garrison.
Roger that. Godspeed. Warning. Radar emission detected.
Heat loaded! Атакуй! Got us locked! Hostile defeated! Target killed!
So we've captured the second save location, and I think I'm going to cut the episode here. I'm going to try to keep them about an hour each, so tune into the next one and we'll continue our journey.
Tune in to the next episode for more High Fleet content like this.
Attention, new target on the radar.
And don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed.